Hello everyone, while we getting everybody logged in, I'm super excited. This is Healing 101. This is a platform where we all come together to heal lives, to just be transparent about taking our lives to the next level. I'm always super excited every Monday through Friday live at 5 to come to you with this amazing, phenomenal content. As far as I'm concerned, it's not the main thing, it's the only thing. Because if we don't have joy in our hearts, if we don't have peace in our souls, if we're not happy, like, what's the purpose, right, of any of this, right? So I'm excited that together we can get together and do this together. So while we're giving everybody an opportunity to come on, I want you guys to know it's definitely going into 2023 that we're going to have to, change from the inside out. That we are definitely going to have to start from the inside out. That's the only way it's going to happen. It's not going to happen the other way around. We're not going to be able to say that all these outside components are going to change us internally. We're going to have to say that we are changing internally, and then as a result, all of the outside components are changing. So with that being said, my name is DrMonifa Jones. I'm a master's level psychologist. I've actually been running outpatient mental health clinics for over 25 years. It's my job and my duty to be a clinician, a counselor, support people with depression and anxiety, also help children with attention deficit disorder, help them with focus and attention, and help people through crisis and trauma in their life, like when they lose their loved ones and they suffer from grief and depression. That's basically what I've been doing for the last 25 years. And one of the joys I've also had is going into the school system and working with families and working with people that need support. But one thing I know, especially since I've been on this journey, one thing I absolutely know, absolutely without a shadow of a doubt, that we have to change from the inside out. And so I want you guys to know that I take natural supplements, and I think that's what changed my life, and I think that's what changed my mind. And I think that's what really made me fall in love with myself, because I can look in the mirror and be excited about that chick that's staring back at me. I can be excited about her now. Before, I was a little suspect of her. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I used to look at her in the mirror. Her, that was me. I had to reintroduce myself to myself, and I was a little suspect of her. I was like, girl, you won't put the pizza down. You won't listen. You won't go in your quiet place and journal. You won't be led spiritually. Like, how are we ever going to get to the next level? We're just going to keep going round and around and around and around in circles. How are we ever going to get to the next level? So with that being said, guys, I can't keep it a secret. I have to show you guys some of the products I was taking, and I'm hoping that I'm a health and wellness business distributor, which means you can get the products from me and it could change your life. So we're about to get started with Healing 101 in 2 minutes, but I want you to know that I detox my body with this lemon. I'm sorry, I said lemon. My husband loves the lemon flavor. This is fruit punch tea, and what I do is I take 2 of the packets, and it's just a little sachet like this. And I open it up, and I put it in my water, and I shake it up, and it tastes like fruit punch. It kind of feel like you're cheating. It tastes like Kool-Aid, but I just drink that at night before I go to bed. And I want you guys to know, when I wake up in the morning, I have an amazing movement. So what this detox does is it cleans out the poisons and the toxins in my body, because I definitely was on a sad diet. I just was. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was on a standard American diet. Hamburgers, french fries, fast food. I was on the window diet. They always passed me my food through a window, through Popeyes, through Arby's, through McDonald's, through Burger King. I was on a fast food diet. It's insane, but that was me. And I love potato chips and cookies and all that stuff. This may not be you, but that was me. And so because I was always working, and I lied to myself. I told myself that I didn't have time to take care of myself, that I always had to go to fast food, I always had to go and grab a snack, but that's not true, because now I have time to take care of myself, and I make sure I do that. The second part of my kit is NRG, and I absolutely love this. This NRG is a natural, raw energy. This is an energy booster, so it gives me energy, it gives me dopamine, just make you feel good. It also gives you mental clarity, but one thing I love, it's not like the 5-hour energy that after you take it you crash. It's not like that. So I love that it's nice and stable and steady. And let me tell you about the bonus. 2 things. One is that one capsule is in a vegetable capsule, is really tiny. One capsule burns 300 to 600 calories, and the other thing is the appetite suppressant. I had to have my potato chips every day. I had to have my potato chips every day. So I'm excited that now with this NRG, I don't have to worry about that. And the final part is my liquid NutriBurst. This is my liquid multivitamin, which means it goes straight into my bloodstream and it starts to clean me out. So not only am I taking all the trash out of my body, that I have been abusing my body for years. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if y'all ate clean for the last 30, 40, 50 years, but I have been abusing my body for decades. And so I'm excited that now I am in charge of cleaning all the toxins out of my body and replacing that with some good multivitamins. So that's exciting, right, guys? So join me on my 15-day challenge so we can clean out before the new year. So listen, guys, I was so super excited that we are still talking about self-love as we go into the new year. And I don't know about y'all, but I was pumped about yesterday's topic because we started talking about what's coming is better than what's gone. I don't know about you, but that makes me have joy. I don't know about you, but that gives me excitement because I know what happened. And when I look back over my life and I think about all of the things that I have experienced that I labeled as not so positive, even though I know now it had to be a part of my journey. I know now that I was not born to suffer. I know now that I cannot pour from an empty cup, that in order for me to make a great impact, I had to be impacted upon, and that is not what happened to me, but it's what happened for me. And now I understand that it's what happens through me. So I'm excited to know that all of those things that I saw before and I felt like they took me out, I felt like they literally made me want to take myself out. It was so painful and so hurtful. I don't know what those experiences were for you, but we all have some experiences when we went through some trauma, we went through some pain, and so I know what those experiences were for me. You have to plug in your own experiences. But isn't it exciting? And doesn't it bring you joy to think that what's coming is better than what's gone? Oh my goodness, I could cry right now. It fills my heart. It just fills my heart to know that I didn't go through all that for nothing. It fills my heart to know that every single time somebody tried to hurt me, that I'm going to be repaid with joy. It fills my heart to know that every single time that I had a positive intention to help a family member, that I had a positive intention to be generous, to look out for others, that I'm going to be paid back for that multiplied. Can y'all sit right there for a moment? Can y'all just sit right there? In gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation. That all of the things that we did were not in vain. And it's not that we have to keep score. And it's not that we have to say, I did this, it's all about me. But isn't it exciting to know that what's coming is better than what's gone? Isn't it exciting to know that all that money you gave out is coming back? All those meals you cooked, all of that generosity, all that love, all that support, all that aid, all that assistance, all the comfort you gave, the compassion you gave, it's coming back multiplied. That is exciting to me. And I'm going to tell you why it's exciting to me, because I'm just a helper by nature. But a lot of times what happens with us helpers is we get bit. There's some snakes out there. And the snakes, they only know how to be snakes. It's not their fault. That's what snakes do. They bite. They bite with venomous poison, right? And so me as a helper and always wanting to help and always wanting to, be there for others. So go ahead and put 1 in the comments if you're excited about knowing that all of the wonderful things you didn't do in vain. All those times you gave somebody a ride. All those times you watched somebody baby. All the times you babysat when you didn't want to. All the time you took someone a meal. Just put 1 in the comments that say, dang, it's exciting to know that I didn't do all of those things in vain. It's exciting to know that good things are coming back to us, Cheryl. It's exciting to know that all of my when it repays, it's going to feel so good because I didn't do it to get something back. I didn't do it for you to mark off on the chart that I did it. I did it out of love, right? So because my intentions were pure, Mom, guess what? They coming back. That feels so good. Anyway, guys, the best is yet to come. That feels so good. So let's talk about this, that your dream life will be your reality. It's on the way. And see, what we have to understand is that each and every one of us, yes, Tia, we want a different life. And we get so like, I don't know if the dream life that I want, if I'm really going to get it. I just don't know if I really believe that. So look, everybody wants something different. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was head over heels in love with a woman in my eyesight who was a celebrity. You may or may not know her. Her name is Monifa Jones, and she's an author. And I really wanted to meet her. In my younger days and younger years going to college, and I wanted to be a school teacher. And I wanted to open up schools for our black children because I knew they were smart. I knew they were intelligent. And I knew there were other ways that we measured intelligence other than just academics. We can measure it through dance, through sports, through moving your body. We can measure it through music. But we know as African American people, we are so strong in all of those areas. But a lot of times, our children, they were receiving biased, standardized tests, and they were marked as dumb or illiterate or less than substandard when it came to academics, when I knew our children were so strong. And so I had this big desire to open schools. I'm still going to do it. I had this big desire to open schools for our children. And so I used to follow this woman named Monifa Jones, who she wrote a book called Extraordinary Children. And President Jimmy Carter, I know I'm dating myself, President Jimmy Carter, President Ronald Reagan asked her to be the Secretary of Education. She was so amazing, she didn't. But guess what, guys? Guess what, Tia? I wanted to meet her. I really, really wanted to meet her. She traveled all around the world. She taught people. She was a big author, but she wouldn't become the Secretary of Education because she felt like the United States government was going to take the kind of way she did work, right? Because they wanted to shut her school down because she told the children who came if they didn't do their homework when they came to school, they couldn't eat lunch. And she said, you're hurting the kids. Why can't they eat lunch? And she said, because they didn't do their work. So I'm teaching them in life, you don't work, you don't eat. And so she said the children who in the public schools, they wouldn't do their homework all year round. They would just fail them. In her school, by the time they missed 2 lunches, they kept doing their homework. And they became the scholars because they knew they couldn't eat if they didn't do their work. So they did their work because they wanted to eat. When that stomach bone started touching that backbone, they decided to do their homework. And I loved her philosophy, right? I wanted to meet her. I'm in Baltimore. She's in Chicago. Do you know what happened? Do you know that one day she showed up in Baltimore and the people who hired her, who called her here to do a conference for their school of teachers, they were picking her up with a limo, the limousine company, they messed it up. They weren't able to pick her up from the airport. They asked me to pick her up from the airport. I want you guys to know my knees were buckling. I picked up Monifa Jones. Can you believe that? And you guys like, who is she? But that's the point. What I want, you don't want. What you want, someone else doesn't want. We're not stepping on each other's toes. Whatever we want wants us. And I saw the power of manifestation. I saw the power of the law of attraction. They asked me to pick her up. I actually picked her and her husband up from the airport. And I understand protocol, you don't talk to them to death, so I picked them up very professionally, took them to the space where they were going to speak, where she was going to teach a conference. They had her waiting in a library, and they had her books on display. So while we're sitting back there, I said, wow, what an amazing book. And she said, oh, you know my book? She shouldn't have said that. Because guess what? I started telling her all about her books and how I follow her and how I thought she was amazing and I wanted to follow in her path. And she was like, wow, here's my home address, my home phone number, my personal email address. Let's stay in touch. Marva Collins, an author that I wanted to meet. But here's the thing. I didn't meet her in Chicago. I didn't meet her somewhere around the world. She came to me. And I specifically had private time with her. I'm saying that to say the whole world will move. The whole world will go upside down to make happen for you what you want. A lot of times we stop believing because we don't believe that our dreams can become a reality. We believe that other people's dreams can become a reality, but we don't believe that our dreams can become a reality. But I want you to know something as specific as me wanting to meet an author who's out of Chicago. Do you know what had to happen for that private school to have a teachers conference, to hire her, for her to come to BWI, for the limousine not to be available, for them to call me because I had a Mercedes truck to pick her up in a proper vehicle? Do you know what had to happen to make that meeting between me and her happen? The world had to be turned upside down, but I want you to know the world will be turned upside down for you. That's how special you are. That's how unique you are. It may sound like it's a little bit far-fetched. It may sound like it's almost impossible. But I want you to know that anything is possible. You better get excited about that. Anything is possible. So your dream life can be your reality. And why don't you hold on to that? And I told you before, like, why would you think anything else anyway? Like, why are we going to think depression and then walk in depression and then be with the doom and gloom? Why are we going to think that we lack joy, we lack happiness, and then also have all of the experiences that lack joy and lack happiness? Like, that don't sound like fun to me. So while I'm waiting for the manifestation of the glory of all the things that I want, I'm going to wait with joy. I'm going to wait with happiness. I'm going to have that excitement leaping inside of my heart saying, oh yeah, I'm almost there. It's got to be getting closer. Why would I think anything else? Why would I think that it's getting further away? Why would I think that it's getting worse? I got to be thinking it's getting closer. Yes, Keisha, what we want wants us. See, one thing I made a determination in my heart, and this is where we all fall into a lot of challenges. See, you are allowed to be the first person in your family to be doing something differently. You say, well, where are the multi-millionaires in your family? How dare you think you're going to be the first one? And I am. Where are all the really healthy people in your family who are plant-based? Where are the healthy people in your family who plan to live to 120? Where are the healthy people in your family who plan to live with vitality and longevity? Oh, and I will. Just because I don't see it happening doesn't mean that I can't be the first person to create the dream life. When we travel to each other's homes and we're all excited because it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's Mother's Day, it's 4th of July, and we just happy to be off from work. We're just happy to see our family, right? Well, where are the mansions? Where are the Bentleys? Well, they're not in my family. We only do that when we go see the celebrities. You can be the first one. And I am. You can be the first one. But see, many of us don't have a point of reference, and we don't see the life that we want. We don't see the body that we want. We don't see the eating habits, the nutrients, the making sure that we are keeping our body strong. Like, we don't see that. So we just like, oh, you know, glaucoma runs in my family. Diabetes runs in my family. High blood pressure runs in my family. We're all anemic. We all get dementia. I don't receive that. I just don't. I believe that I can be the first person in my family to be a billionaire. I believe that I can be the first person in my family to be 60 years old and win a weightlifting contest. I believe that I can live a plant-based life and have a really strong, longevity, full of vitality life. I said I'm going to be the grandmother. I'm not going to be sitting in a rocking chair. I am going to be rock climbing with my grandchildren. Just wait for it. I'm going to be running through the fields with my grandbabies and having an amazing time. I know what I want. I know what I see. And it's beautiful. And regardless what happens between now and then, I'm not going to judge that. I'm not going to judge God. I'm not going to judge the universe. I'm not going to judge my circumstances. Let me tell you something, Keisha. Sometimes the things that I see, it don't match up with what I see, if that makes sense. I'm a visionary. So the things that I see don't match up with what I see. I know my body will be fit. I know I'm going to have a great eating style. Nutrient-dense foods. I know that I'm going to live in a mansion. I know what kind of cars I'm going to drive. Matter of fact, I won't be driving. I will have a driver. Get excited about that. I know that I will be traveling the world, impacting the world. I know I will be one of the greatest philanthropists that ever lived. Wait for it. I'll live off of 10% of my income and give 90% away. Wait for it. I'm going to establish so many foundations. They don't even understand. I always wanted a daughter. I didn't, but I will have daughters all over the world. My husband gave me a daughter, right? And soon I'll have plenty of grandchildren that I will be just, we'll just be traveling the world together, making impact. I don't want them to struggle financially. I'm working for them right now and they don't even know it. I'm working for them right now. So I'm excited that I can be the first person. So this is what I want to tell you. You are allowed to be the first person in your family to do something differently. Write it down. Remember, we were journaling yesterday. Write it down. You are allowed to be the first person in your family to do something differently. What do you want to do differently? Well, all of my family's a Christian. I think I want to be a Buddhist. Do it. All of my family are Buddhists. I think I want to be a Muslim. Do it. All of my family are Muslim. I think I want to do New Age. Do it. All of my family are New Age. I think I want to be a Christian. Do it. Love is my religion. See, a lot of times we grow up in a certain environment. There may be lack, there may be poverty, there may be full of disease. And listen, disease means you are not at ease with life. Disease, dis-ease, not at ease. We can look around our family, we can look around our friends, we can look around our environment. We can see people are not at ease. They just not. And as a result of that, it happens, it settles in our body. This ain't no judgment now. I got a lot of generational curses that I'm eradicating. The buck stops here. It won't land upon my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, because that's my job. My job is to make sure that the lack, the poverty, the disease doesn't just keep going and going and going. And guess what? You may say, Dr. J, you crazy. You believe you can be the first person in your family to break poverty. You believe you could be the first person in your family to break generational curses, to break diseases. And my answer to you is absolutely. Why would I think anything else, Wanda? Hello. Why would I think anything else? Why would I live this life and think I'm going to live beneath my means? I know without a shadow of a doubt I will prosper in my health and my wealth without a shadow of a doubt. So as a part of Healing 101, I want you to embrace and I want you to grasp the things that you want, because, Keisha, they want you. What you want wants you. But when we give up on ourselves and we don't even try to pursue anything, Vaughn, that's how things back up from us. My brother, that's how things elude us, because in our minds we start to believe, remember, anything is possible. But the moment we believe, it said whether you believe you can or you cannot, either way you are right. So we need to believe that we can. And we can be the first person. And delay is not denial. People will say, you done been living 5 decades plus. You think at this late juncture, you're about to do some things. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm about to shake it up, baby. Don't believe what you heard. If you didn't hear it directly from me, don't believe what you heard. I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you. It ain't your job to make people believe you. But I'm telling you right now, don't believe what you heard. How many times people don't told you something about somebody else to manipulate you, and then you found out in the end it ain't even true, and you treating that person as a result of what somebody else said? Isn't that crazy? Let me tell you guys a quick story. This is a story about, it's called the cookie story. So this lady is in the airport. She purchases a bag of cookies. She goes to sit down. This is called the cookie thief. So she's in the airport waiting for her flight. She goes to sit down, and in the chair she takes her bag of cookies and sits them beside her in her chair. So she's sitting down waiting for her flight, and she's eating her cookies, just enjoying herself. And there's another man sitting beside her. This is not her partner. This is not her friend. This is actually a stranger. She doesn't even know this person. And so the gentleman puts his hand down in the bag of cookies, and he takes a cookie out and eats it. And she was, what? The nerve. A stranger danger, right? The nerve. This man put his hand in my cookie bag and took my cookie. It's cookie thief. And so she's eating cookies, and he's eating cookies. And she's looking at him like, Lord have mercy, what in the world? Do you know he picked up the last cookie? How many times, y'all know y'all be wanting to fight somebody over the last piece of cake, the last piece of chicken, the last potato chip, the last cookie. The man picked up the last cookie, and he said to her, do you want it? And she looks at him like, how dare you touch my cookies, let alone the last one? So she was angry. She was livid. She was heated. The cookie thief. She said, you's a cookie thief. So she didn't want to cause a scene. So she picked up her bag, walked to where they had to board the plane, and she decided to wait there. Then they started loading to get on the plane. She gets on the plane, and guess what happened? She goes to sit down, and she opens her bag, and guess what she found out? Not only was the gentleman not a cookie thief, that she was the cookie thief. Because she had her whole bag of cookies inside her pocketbook. Because she thought she took her bag of cookies out and sat it beside her, that gentleman bought the same bag of cookies and she was eating his cookies. And he was being nice to her. And he was sharing with her. And he was offering it to her. So listen to this about the cookie thief. How many times in your life you thought you had the story right and you were wrong? And you were livid about it. And you were heated about it. The cookie thief wasn't dude, it was her. And then she felt bad. And she felt remorse because she was angry with the gentleman. And she was pissed at him. And she was just so livid. And she was like, how dare he offer me? He offered her the last cookie, even though she didn't ask him for the cookies. She was stealing the cookies. She was eating his cookies. How many times we got the story wrong? How many times we blame the wrong person when it really was us? How many times we pointed the finger when we didn't get the story right? She felt so ashamed. She felt so embarrassed when she got on the plane and she had her whole bag of cookies. The cookie thief was her. So listen, your dream life can be your reality. You got to look at your perspective. We got to stop this stinking thinking. We got to stop this low vibration thinking. We got to stop always letting people fill up our heads with lies, distorted lies. You know somebody's temperament is to be loving. You know somebody's temperament is to be generous. And they come to you and say, you know that person did this and that person did that. And you be like, I ain't going to talk to them either. I ain't going to invite them either. I'm going to accuse them of being selfish. I'm going to do that too. And you don't even know the story and you the cookie thief. Vaughn. We the cookie thief. We don't even know the story. And we react in the wrong way. So wouldn't it be amazing if we became proactive with our lives and we went within. How am I going to fix this? I'm not here to judge my daughter, my sister, my cousin, my son, my mother, my auntie off of what somebody said. That's not their temperament. That's not their character. And although she was the one that had all of our backs, we're going to push her out. Okay. Has that ever happened to you? You better get excited. And you better keep healing. Because everybody's on their journey. And everybody is not really concerned about you. So you better keep healing. You better keep loving yourself. You better keep involving yourself in self-care rituals. Because at the end of the day, you are responsible for you. At the end of the day, we've been pointing fingers, but we the cookie thief. We've been stealing from ourselves, but we like, Mama, why won't you love me? Mama, why won't you show me love and affection? We've been stealing from ourselves, but blaming our mamas. We've been blaming our daddies. We've been blaming our husbands. But we the cookie thief. We got all the love right here, and we begging for it outside. All the peace and joy right here, but we begging for it outside. Mama, can you please love me? Your mama can't love herself. Do you know what she been through? Do you know what her mama been through? Do you know what her mama's been through? Stop asking for what will never ever happen. We have so many unrealistic expectations. But what if you stop blaming your mama? And what if you stop trying to beg your mama? And what if you start loving yourself? What if you became so peaceful and so full of joy and happiness and peace that you had more to give out? But right now, because you're not tapping into self-love, you're still blaming. You're still judging. You're still hurting others. You're still screaming. You're still showing everybody you wounded. You're still showing everybody you got deep wounds and cuts. Because you won't take the time to go within. Because if you don't go within, you will go without. See, it's very imperative, guys. I'm telling you right now, it is imperative that we change from the inside out. That's why I tell you, you are what you eat. When people screaming and hollering, all I gotta do is look at their shopping cart in the market. All I have to do is look at what you ate last month. I know why you full of anxiety. Them animals, when they killed them, they were afraid. They were screaming when they cut them down, and they were full of disease. They got locked in their blood, and we eat that every day. And we wonder why we have schizophrenic personality. All of the chickens and the cows and all the trauma they've been through, we are ingesting it instead of just ingesting what they ingest. They were like, we gotta have protein, we gotta have... What do you think them cows, how do you think they got that big? They were eating grass. Them chickens not eating chickens. You are what you eat. My people, my black people, all my people, we must change from the inside out. You're going to be more calm. You're going to be more settled. You're going to be more peaceful when you eat nutrient-dense foods. I told you before, if you look on the back of the box of them cookies, they got 462 ingredients. They are all not food. They are additives. Thank you. Hugs back to you. They are additives. They are all not food. And can you understand why we're so sad, why we're so depressed, why we're so angry, why we're so full of shame and guilt? It's because that's what we ingest every day. We ingest it every day. But please drink your water. If you want some natural supplements that help me on this journey, my appetite suppressant so I can get off of my SAD diet, my standard American diet, so I can stop my window diet, which everybody passes my food through a drive-through window. I need to make my own food. I need to see it. So guys, I love each and every one of you. We're ready for things to start going our way. We are asking to receive a message in this physical world today that is a reflection of that. We are open and ready to receive that message. Guess what? What you want wants you. I wanted to meet Marva Collins. You probably don't even know who she is. And the universe made this world turn upside down for me and her to be in the same place at the same time. What do you want? You're welcome. What do you want? It wants you. It's searching for you. It's already done. It's already done. You already have it. It's already yours. You don't have 5 minutes. You don't have a life. I love each and every one of you. I'll see you tomorrow, Monday through Friday, live.